Welcome to the Trump 2024 convention, brought to you by Project 2025. This week in the horrible city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you'll see the best of the Trump Project 2025 party. It's a bold vision for a bright future. With Trump Project 2025, you'll love how new tariffs will make everything more expensive and set off runaway inflation. We know you'll appreciate paying for the big tax cut our struggling billionaires need. When you seniors are done freeloading, check out Project 2025's plan to end Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So get out of that nursing home bed and get back to work. And ladies, this convention has so much in store for you. With Project 2025, you'll learn how good you'll have it in the kitchen. Girls, if your marriage isn't working out, you'll need Project 2025's helpful tips to keep the romance alive, even if he's abusive, because we're getting rid of divorce. And if Mr. Wrong gets you pregnant, welcome to motherhood, because we've ended Roe v. Wade and we're going to criminalize birth control. And minorities, well, you didn't need those silly voting rights anyway. For you Jews, Muslims, Mormons, and other fake religions, you'll get a head start on learning America is a Christian nation. Project 2025 is Donald Trump's plan for your future, and it couldn't be any brighter.
Project 2025 Bright Future Guarantee applies to white evangelical Christian men only. Other conditions may apply. Offer not valid in a functioning republic.
That hilarious and brutal ad from our friends at the Lincoln Project does a great job on a couple of things. One, making fun of Donald Trump's Project 2025 for how ridiculous it really is. The idea that we would push our progress back so far to what one Republican said earlier last week, said he wants to go back to the 1960s. It is absolutely crazy, and it's almost laughable if it wasn't so scary. And it also does a great job breaking through. As our friends at the Lincoln Project know, humor is one of the best ways to break through. And they've done that with this ad, which has gone super, super viral, and for good reason. Because we need to educate people more on Project 2025. I've seen it in the comments. Y'all have been saying we need to talk more and more about Project 2025 and the dangers that it poses, and we absolutely do. And the Lincoln Project did a great job here laying out what that second Trump term agenda would look like. And of course, we are not going to allow a second Trump term because we are riding with Biden, we are voting blue, and we are going to turn out and defeat Donald Trump at the ballot box in November. So we're not going to let this happen. But of course, people need to know what would happen if there was a second Trump term. And these rolling back of reproductive freedom, this attack on Social Security and Medicare, this attack on all the government agencies that work to make our lives better, can't go unnoticed. We cannot let Donald Trump separate himself from this agenda, which he has been trying to do. You know it's bad, you know it's damaging to him when Donald Trump says, as he has recently, that he knows nothing about Project 2025. That's what Donald Trump would always do when someone would attack him who he once knew, right? When someone who worked in his administration would leave and then talk about the many ways that Donald Trump was an awful president, unfit for office, and we are going to get one of those clips later in this video, so stick around. But Donald Trump would act like he had never met that person, which, of course, was a lie, because that's all Donald Trump does, is he lies. But like I said, this was a really funny, I enjoyed it, I hope you did too, video from the Lincoln Project, but they also put out another ad about Project 2025, about what Donald Trump wants to do in his second term that is certainly not as humorous, but is just as important. Let's check it out.
In the 1930s, Hitler didn't just seize power. It was handed to him by the wealthy, by the powerful, by a compliant elite, by people who thought they were above the angry masses and violent anti-Semites. He was given power by Germans who knew what he believed, but thought they could contain him, control him, that his crazed speeches and dangerous antics were just for show, that his hatred would never turn on them. But like every dictator before or since, Hitler used his power to bring death, despair, and tragedy to the world. Before the world said, never again, millions of Germans believed it can't happen here. Germany bet wrong in 1933. Will we?
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
An important ad and certainly a striking historical comparison. Now, Donald Trump and Republicans want to attack Democrats who rightfully say that Donald Trump wants to be a dictator, wants to be an authoritarian, make comparisons to Hitler. Now, Donald Trump has quoted Hitler and used his language and his speeches, and Donald Trump's own running mate, J.D. Vance, called Trump once America's Hitler. So these things aren't out of the realm of possibility for truth, and Donald Trump certainly wants to be a dictator. And now that the Supreme Court has said that presidents can be kings if they want to, and they've done it because they know someone like Donald Trump would come into that office if he was reelected and completely tarnish it, because he has no character to honor it. Unlike Joe Biden, who came out on the day of that Supreme Court decision and said, I have character, I will not abuse the office of the presidency. But that's not what Donald Trump would do. He would use it and he would abuse it to support himself, to enrich himself, to attack his political opponents, to give his rich friends another big tax cut, to be an authoritarian, to be a dictator on day one, like he said he wants to do. He wants to be a dictator on day one. Now, Trump allies have rejected that notion. They've lied. They said, Trump doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be a dictator on day one. Again, they're trying to run away from the unpopular things that Donald Trump has said. But again, our friends at the Lincoln Project put up some incredible digital billboards outside of the RNC using Trump's words against him, and you just have to check them out. Let's look. Dictator on day one. Trump's words used against him because they are true. It's so easy to use Trump's words against him because they're the only thing about him that's true. His intentions to attack our democracy and make himself an authoritarian, when he speaks about those things, it's the only time in his life that he's ever telling the truth. But for some reason, Republicans want to say that, oh no, that's not the case. Donald Trump doesn't actually want to be a dictator. No, of course not. But if it's true, Republicans, I hope you're not watching this channel, but if you are, then what's this clip right here of Trump saying he wants to be a dictator to Sean Hannity?
Issue, though, because the media has been focused on this and attacking you under no circumstances. You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not. That's
drill.
That's not.
Oh, no.
That's not retribution. I'm
going to be. You know, he keeps. We love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No. Other than day one, we're closing the border." And we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
So that sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president.
That's
all right.
Exactly.
And you see Sean Hannity in that clip trying to push Donald Trump in a direction. No, you didn't say this. No, you don't want this. Just saying like, Donald, stop saying it. It's so incredibly unpopular, as Donald Trump is incredibly unpopular. And he's trying to push him away from it, but Trump just doubles down. And so anytime that anyone ever tells you, no, Donald Trump's not a threat. No, he's not trying to become a dictator. He doesn't want to be a dictator on day one. Just show them this video. And I think Donald Trump saying that he wants to be a dictator, of course, we're seeing it a lot now in his campaign, but it's clearly something that he's always wanted. It's clearly something that's always been a part of how he sees himself. And someone who pointed that out, a person who was around Donald Trump in his first term as president, was General Mark Milley. And he denounced Donald Trump in an incredible speech he gave and really made this powerful statement that I think is important now leading up to this election about our allegiance to the Constitution and not a wannabe king, a wannabe dictator. Obviously taking a shot at Donald Trump. Let's check it out.
To a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that it's America, and we're willing to die to protect it. Every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Guardian, and Coast Guardsman, each of us commits our very life to protect and defend that document, regardless of personal price.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we're willing to die to protect it. Such a powerful statement from someone who has seen Donald Trump and the dangers he poses to our democracy up close and personal. Let's trust General Milley, and let's turn out like we trust General Milley and his fears, which are real, about what Donald Trump would do to our democracy. And if you're going to be a person turning out, supporting Joe Biden, voting blue, excited to stop Donald Trump at the ballot box, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because we are building a movement of people who are excited to do that. And it is so excited to see how fast it is growing. And as well, as always, make sure you hit the like button. If you like this video, drop a blue heart in the comments so I know you watched till the end, so that I know that you are supporting this channel, because it really does mean the world to me. And I want to like that comment. I want to thank you for your support, because again, it really does mean the world to me. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all next time.